Hello guys, I'm back. If you can't see, I am in my closet again, or still rather. I'm doing this series on pumping, and I just finished up the first part of it about um, just taking your time, knowing that it's going to take some time for your milk to come in, and utilizing the hospital grade pumps. Those are two very important steps, the first steps on your pumping journey that you're going to encounter. And so, if you haven't listened to that, start there, because the journey is long. This is going to be quite a series that I'm going to do. I tried to do it all in one fell swoop. It wasn't working. So I'm trying to make it in smaller bites. Take it in smaller bites so that you can digest that and really get better information, and I won't be rambling on in one long video. So where I'm going to start next is, and this is where I ended, very good transition from the last video, is when you go home choosing your pump. So what my husband was a godsend. He stayed with me the entire time at the hospital, and I delivered on Thursday evening. I think Shelby was born at like 5:09 p.m. So it was after work on a Thursday. And so Friday was when he really took the initiative of getting the business done, of getting my pump to go home. We didn't know how long we were going to stay, but we knew it was a Friday, and businesses are closed on Saturday and Sunday typically. Our best luck was going to be to get as much done on Friday as we could. So he knew, all right, we got to get this pump. Where we started was actually with my job. I work for a hospital in this area, and so I knew that we have a birthing center and we have a lactation shop. They have a whole team of lactation specialists that is available to the public. And so I had at work obviously gone and visited like on my lunch breaks and things like that while I was pregnant to kind of see what products they had and what services they offered. Now due to COVID, they've closed the physical shop. They had like dresses. I'll show you one of the no, I don't have it in here. They have these nursing dresses and tanks and pumping bras and teething toys and all kinds of stuff in this shop. And so I went in there just to peruse and get my nerves together, anticipating my pumping journey or my nursing breastfeeding journey. So he called the hospital. They provided us with the hospital grade for the first month for free. And most places that you're going to reach, whether that's a private company. When I delivered my son, we went with a private provider who she just started her own lactation shop, and so she gave that to us for the first 30 days for free. Or your insurance could cover it if there is a cost, but after the 30 days you would have to pay. But typically, after your first 30 days, you want to be in the process of getting your own permanent what you call it, machine. What am I? A pump, your breast pump. Golly, I'm having a blink a moment. So we went home. I got the hospital grade, and it was great having it. But there's some drawbacks to the hospital grade. One is they're gigantic, and so they're not very compact. They're not very portable. And what I decided to do was to camp downstairs for the first 3 weeks, maybe 2.5 to 3 weeks, for two reasons. One is I had a C-section, and it was an emergency C-section, and I was in a lot of pain. I could not sleep in my bed. The first night I slept in my bed on accident. I went upstairs to shower, and I couldn't make it back downstairs. I was in so much pain, but I was in worse pain after sleeping in my bed. So I said, you know what, this isn't a good setup. So I'm just going to put everything downstairs, sleep in my recliner, And then I won't have to really worry about moving anything or doing anything. So that's what I did. I have, and that station is still set up, just not with the hospital grade. So the hospital grade was on the top of this little shelf that I have, and the drawers in it had my bottles and my pump supplies and all the stuff that I needed in there. And really, for the most part, throughout the day, unless I had to eat or go to the bathroom, I could sit there, relax, manage my pain, and then pump when I needed to, as frequently as often as I needed to. So the positive is they're very efficient. They are super salt. They have super strong suction, and they work really well. The drawback was you can't really move it around. If I had to go upstairs, like eventually once I started to move around better, if I needed to go upstairs or wanted to sit at the dinner table instead or do some work, um, I couldn't. It was just I had to be in that chair every time. So, um, at any rate, once you've kind of started to get that situation under control, you want to reframe your journey. You want to start looking at getting your own pump. You're going to contact your insurance provider, and they will give you some resources to where your insurance will cover either partially or fully a pump of your own permanently. Different insurance providers have different amounts that they'll cover. Mine, I think, covered like up to $175 or $200, something like that. So just contact your insurance provider as soon as possible to get some information about when what that process looks like for them, or for you. Um, the second part is choosing a pump. Period. Holy moly! This part was very different this second time than the first time with my son Logan. Um, I was given a pump the last time I was pregnant. Um, a friend of ours had a baby. She pumped for a very short time. I think her baby was just very hungry, and she went to work pretty quickly, so she just really didn't spend a lot of time with the pumping situation. I just gotta continue my my multitasking. Sorry. And so she gave me my pump with him, and I never really investigated getting another one. I didn't need another one. I had an office at work, so I could take that pump to work. It was kind of loud, but I was in my own private area, so it just really didn't affect me. This go round was very different. I knew that my work setup was very different this time, and I don't have my own private space. Now, by law, we are, as nursing moms, supposed to be given an area without really any question, to go and pump, and it cannot be the bathroom. It should not be the bathroom. Our employers have to find a space for us to be able to pump in a sanitary private area. Okay, so I really started to think about that long before I delivered. But the thing is, I delivered 13 weeks early, so I still really hadn't had a conversation about, with my supervisor where I was going to go or what that was going to look like. But I did know that they were aware. I work with a bunch of women, so they all were aware of this whole situation. So just know that that is a conversation, and those are thoughts that if you are pregnant right now, seeing this video, you're going to want to have that discussion and think about those things. So this is kind of how I made a decision about the pump that I chose. I knew I wasn't going to have a private area. I know that I am on the road. I'm out in the field a lot. I'm a social worker, so I'm in my car driving quite a bit, and I needed something that was going to be able to go with me wherever I would go. So I intentionally chose a pump that was very small and compact. And I did a little more research with it this time, just because I knew what worked last. I knew that the pump I had, the Medela pumping style, worked great, but I wasn't familiar with anything else outside of that, as far as the personal pumps. So I had to do some Google searching and some, reading of reviews and things like that. And I took a risk. I took a risk in this. I purchased or ordered a pump that wasn't very familiar. It wasn't It's brand new. It's probably been out only a year. Medela, Amida, Spectra, all of these other brands of pumps have been out for years. I would say close to, I don't know how long. As long as I've been being pregnant, I've seen these products. So, this particular brand and model, the motif is really new. I'm about to transition out of my closet back to my room. Give me one moment and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Um, so the first pump that I worked with, the one that was given to me, is the pumping style. I took it out of its case because I just keep it at my bedside. The bag was a bit clunky. I didn't like it, but this is the second one that I chose. This is a Motif Duo. Let me see if I am able to set up my camera so I can show you what this is like. Excuse my messy bed. Okay. So, I knew I wanted to be able to take my tubes, and just pack my stuff and go. So, um, this is the bottle. Let me see, I have two. This is what I would need to go on the road with me at most. These bottles come off and they have the seals that you can just, cover it up and put it on a ice pack or something. Keep it cool. So these are very much transportable, and I could put this in a small bag and put this bag into my purse, or keep the parts at my desk, so that I can discreetly take them where I need to take them. Carrying that other thing around was just too much like work. The other thing is this is much quieter. So, like I said before, I was in my own office. The noise factor really was a non-issue. My door was closed and I was in a private area. If I think where I'm thinking about being, at my job, we have a curtain which visually provides privacy, but not noise-wise, and it's very sensitive in our office. We're having very sensitive conversations. I'm a hospice social worker, so there's a desk right by this curtain, and have this motor going, on for 30-45 minutes maybe, might be a bit of noise pollution. So I was just trying to keep in mind my environment along with my pump. So when you are browsing online or in Target, or talking to lactation at the hospital, talk with them about these things. They are here to help you. The lactation specialists are here to help you make a decision that is good for you, and hopefully, you knowing your situation, you will be able to make the best decision that you have. They have, I'm not going to say hundreds of pumps, but it might be hundreds of pumps, at least 100. They have hands-free pumps, so they have ones that look similar to this. I would say they're round, more round, like a cup that you would stick inside your bra or your shirt, and it you know, you line it up with your breasts, your nipples and whatnot, and then you would still hook it up to this. But you can stick this in your pocket or carry it around, and you can do dishes while they're doing their work. You know, these you would need a hands-free pump, a bra or something to do something like that. It's a different concept, probably not as hands-free as the those other models. So keep all this stuff in mind, and that is where I'm going to end for right now. The next video that I'm going to do is really talking about features in the pumps that you're going to want to pay attention to, and why that's important. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have, you know, questions, you can obviously, you know, put it in the chat, in the comments, and I can do my best. I have good hookup connections with the lactation specialist that I'm at my hospital, and so, you know, hopefully if there's any questions I can run them by her, and you know, we can get answers. But anyways, the next video is going to be about features in pumps that you're going to want to pay close attention to. All right, take care. Thank you. Good luck on your pumping journey.